takes them out from the a half to another prescribed portion. For example, if the husband is to inherit from the wife and there's no children, the husband gets what? A half. If there's children, the husband gets a quarter. Same thing applies to the wife. If a person dies, a man dies and leaves back a wife or wives, they take a quarter, or she takes a quarter. And if there's no kids. If there is kids, then she gets an eighth. So this is known as hajb nuqsan, not hajb al-hirman. And throughout fara'id, these cases will occur from time to time. It depends on the situation that specific heirs are supposed to inherit. So I think the last example that we took was, Malice, just give me a minute. Al-Akh Abdul Malik, remind me the last thing that that you wrote in your notes, so that I don't go back so much. You didn't follow it up online? I think we managed to take up to thuluthain. But anyhow, I think last time when the iqama, when it reached time of salah, we had to stop in between. But I think the last thing that we did was, when the two or more full sisters take 2/3, if the deceased leaves no children, grandchildren, father or grandfather or brother, then we gave an example. Why is it not showing up? Huh? Today is not that sharp. What is the problem? How many light in a big? Should up. Should we push it back? Yeah, it's better. Hey, Bismillah. الجمع من الأخوات لأب. Two or more paternal sisters. Those also, we mentioned there are four people who are supposed to, or four category of people are supposed to be given 2/3. Number one, we said is al-jam'u min al-banat. Two or more daughters. If they are by themselves and there is no brother with them, and they're just by themselves as the siblings, as siblings and the kids, the daughters are given 2/3 of the wealth. Or the second scenario is al-jam'u min al-banat al-ibn, if the daughters of the son, if they're two or more, they're given 2/3 also. And that is if there's no, they don't have a sibling who makes them become asabat, okay? The third one is al-jam'u min al-akhawat al-shaqiqat, is this one now. Two or more full sisters take 2/3 if the deceased leaves no children, grandchildren, father, grandfather, or a brother. What do I mean by this? I gave an example here. Two full sisters and one paternal uncle. Amongst this amongst this category of people who are here, there is no place where there is a paternal uncle mentioned, or an uncle mentioned at all. So the uncle does not stop the two full sisters. When we talk about two full sisters, we mean what? The sisters from the same father and the same mother. So they are not mentioned here, meaning in this mas'ala, we do not have an uncle being a factor who can reduce or take away their portion, or block them. I mean, it doesn't take their portion, but he blocks them. Okay, so two full sisters, they take 2/3. Mas'ala is from 3, and then R means residue. We write it baqi. 2/3 of 3 is 2. The sisters take 2, and the uncle takes 1. If it's 15 million being divided by 3, the girls, the two sisters will get 10 million, and the uncle will get what? 5 million. We gave an example also that in so many cases that we find these days, a person is, or the uncles have become a bit of a headache when it comes to dividing the inheritance. So the sisters of the deceased person might not be given anything. The uncles feel that we are closest to the deceased person. We are the brothers to the father. The wealth belongs to us. So they will hold the money that is supposed to be given to the sisters of the deceased person, which the sisters to the deceased person, to them as uncles, will be what? Nieces. We talked about there's a lot of dhulma going on when it comes to dividing inheritance, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to uplift this from this ummah and make people be careful whenever they divide inheritance, because it's people's haqq. It's not something to play around with. Alright, then I gave a second example. When there is two full sisters, Dawood, it's not showing the screen. When it's two full sisters, okay? When there is two full sisters and there is a father, the father blocks the two full sisters. Why? We talked about this before. The father and the son are very powerful when it comes to inheriting from the deceased person. The father or the son or the grandfather. You see these the categories I've mentioned here. The children of the deceased, the grandfather, the father, the grandfather, or the brother. They are very powerful. The only one who reduces the number, or who reduces the portion of the sisters, is this guy, the brother. But the rest block the sisters. Are we together? So a practical example was here. If a person died and left back two full sisters and a father only, how do you divide the inheritance? The sisters will become mahjubin. Okay? They become blocked. So, blocked. Why? Because there is the father there. The father takes the wealth ta'asiban, yani as a residue, everything that is there in the estate. Are we together? But in case if a situation comes, there is the mother there. She's also a parent, but the mother was not mentioned in this category. Do you see her in this category? No. So if the mother is there, the mother's portion is the one that will go low. When there's no brothers, and there's no siblings, several siblings of the deceased person, or kids, the mother takes a third. But when there is more than two siblings, or more than two siblings, the mother's portion automatically goes from a third to a sixth. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned about this, فَإِن كُنَّ نِسَاءً فَوْقَ اثْنَتَيْنِ فَلَهُنَّ ثُلُثَا مَا تَرَكَ. That is about the girls. فَإِن كانت اثنتين فَلَهُمَا الثُّلُثَانِ مِمَّا تَرَكَ. When it comes to the mother, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the ayah, يُوصِيكُمُ اللَّهُ فِي أَوْلَادِكُمْ لِلذَّكَرِ مِثْلَ حَظِّ الْأُنْثَيَيْنِ, until it reaches a point at the part where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that the mother has a third if there's no kids. فَلِأُمِّهِ الثُّلُث فَإِن كَانَ لَهُ إِخْوَةٌ فَلِأُمِّهِ السُّدُسِ. So the mother goes from a third to a sixth when there is more than one sibling. But this cannot happen if the siblings have something known as mawani' al-irth. Mawani' al-irth is what? If the siblings have one of the three things: either they are not Muslims, either they are slaves, the third one, either they were the one who killed the deceased person. Do you understand my point? These three people are not supposed to be inheriting even if they have a specific portion to inherit. Are we together? Let's take several examples when it comes to the akhawat al-shaqiq, okay? We say they take 2/3, okay? They take 2/3 if those people whom we've mentioned are not there. So let's give an example, a practical example here. We have two full sisters. We have a wife, and we have a paternal, no, afwan, akhli ab, brother from the father. Brother from the father, okay? How will we divide this? Based on the information I gave you. How much will the full sister get? Two full sisters. Do they get the 2/3 or they get covered? The two full sisters take 2/3. The wife gets her portion because there's no kids, so she will take what? A quarter. What is remaining, the residue or baqi, is given to who? The brother from the father. Understand one thing here. The brother is not a full brother. If the brother was the full brother, the brothers and the sisters will be what? Asabat. So it will be لِلذَّكَرِ مِثْلُ حَظِّ Unthayn. They'll inherit as a residue. Do you understand now? Okay. The closest person to the deceased is the one whom they share both parents. They're stronger than the one who share one parent. Are we together? Mas'ala is from 2 to thirds. What will be our Ra'sul Mas'ala? Yes, 12. How did we get the 12? 4 times 3. What is this? Tabayun or what? Tawafuq? You're going back to your notes, huh? All right. So what is the portion of the sisters? Is 8. The portion of the wife is 3, and the portion of the brother is 1. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You have divided the inheritance. Khalas. Are we together? Before we get to Ashab al-Thuluth, and Ashab al-Thuluth there are only 2, we have one last scenario from 2/3. Okay? The paternal sisters, the issue of paternal sisters. Now, these are the sisters known as al-akhawat li-ab. When do they get the 2/3? They also in the category of 2/3 if يأخذون الثلثين بخمسة شروط. They take 2/3 under 5 conditions. Number 1, وجود المماثل أن يكون أختين لأب فأكثر للميت سواء كانت لها شقيقة أو لأب. عدم المعصب، عدم الفرع الوارث، وعدم الأصل الوارث من الذكور، وعدم الأخ الشقيق أو الأخت الشقيقة فأكثر. 2 full sisters who are paternal sisters with no children, there's no father, no full siblings, or paternal brothers present, is when they will take 2/3. If these people whom I've mentioned are there, they do not get the 2/3. Especially if the one who is there, the paternal sisters are there, but the children are still alive, they don't get anything. Especially when there is several daughters or daughters and sons. They don't get anything when the father is there. They don't get anything when the full siblings are there. And also, they do not get 2/3 if the paternal brothers are there. They get what? They divide, as we mentioned, 2 to 1. For example, now, you have, so we talk about paternal sisters. We've mentioned the condition. 2 or more paternal sisters take 2/3 if the deceased person has no children, has no father or full siblings, or paternal what? Brothers and paternal brothers present, okay? So if we give an example here, we have 4 paternal sisters, and then we have 1 full nephew. 1 full nephew. How do we divide this? The sisters will get a fixed share of 2/3, and the nephew will take the residue. Mas'ala is from 3. The sisters take 2, 1. If it's 15 million, they get 10 million. Sorry, if it's 15 million, the sisters get 10 million, and the nephew get what? 5 million. Are we together? If now another scenario, the paternal sisters. When we talk about the paternal sisters, we mean the sister from the father's side alone. Okay? We have a paternal sister, father, husband. How do we divide this? How do we divide this? Paternal sister, father and a husband. How do we divide it? Abdul Malik, you're the main student today. Your colleagues have gone to sleep. Maternal sister, how much do they get? Mahjubin, yes. They don't get anything. Why? The father. Because the father is there. So the father will take what is remaining, but the husband has to be given his what? Half. Because there's no children. So the mas'ala will be from 2, 0, 1, 1. Do you get my point? So if it's 20 million, the father takes 10, the husband takes 10. Understood? Jazakumullah. Now we want to get into the scenario of a third. والثلث فرض الأم حيث لا ولد ولا من الإخوة جمع ذو عدد. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned about the scenario where the mother takes a third when there is no siblings, several siblings of the deceased person, or there is no children from the deceased person. So we'll say it like this. الثلث, scenario 1. So this is mas'ala الثلث. We have remained with الثلث, and then we finish up with السدس. السدس will take it inshallah next weekend. I think next weekend I'll not be here. So I'll finish up thuluth today, but next weekend we resume, we'll take a sixth. Because it has a lot of people. The people of sixth are almost 7. And the rest of the students are not around, so they'll miss a lot. Alright? So let's come here. أصحاب الثلث. Those inheriting a third. Who are these people who inherit a third? There are only 2. Number 1, mother. A deceased person's who? Mother. A deceased person's who? Mother. But it has conditions to it. When does she take a third? And when does she not take a third? It's not just like she's the mother, she has to be given a third. Are we together here? Number 2, الجمع من ولد الأم ذكورا أو إناثا أو مختلفين. Multiple maternal siblings. The siblings that you have from your mother's side alone. They also are given a third. Okay? تأخذ الثلث بثلاثة شروط. The mother takes a third with 3 conditions. The mother inherits a third when there are no children, number 1. So let's break this thing down. The mother, okay? She takes a third when there are no children no grandchildren, okay, no grandchildren, and no more than one sibling total. Do you get my point now? So those are the three conditions. When there's no children, no grandchildren, or no more than one sibling in total. Why did we say in total? Meaning, a person can have one full sister, one full brother, or no, one full sister, one paternal brother, one maternal sister. Do you get my point? So in total, when there is more than one sibling, the mother goes from a third to a sixth. Okay? The mother goes from a third to a sixth. So let's give an example here. Okay? When it's in a scenario where the mother, and by the way, for your information, the mother is never excluded from getting her inheritance. She'll either get a third or a sixth, and it's fixed. There is no time that the mother is not supposed to be given her portion. It's not like, oh, because there's children, or the wife of the deceased is there, so the wife wants to take everything. Or it's for me and my children. La. That's not allowed. Are we together? So the mother has her portion. So now we come here an example. Mother, father, the mother here will take a third, the father will take the remaining, yani baqi. The mas'ala will be from 3. She takes 1 portion, the father takes 2 portions. And we will come in and learn something known as mas'ala ihda al-umariyatain. It's also known as mas'ala which came, mas'ala ihda al-umariyatain al-gharrawin. This case we will explain just now before we finish the third. It's a bit complicated, okay? But this is mas'ala, it's called mas'ala al-umariyatain, as what Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu an ordered, yani gave a fatwa on how to divide such inheritance. Because it comes a scenario when there is a father, the mother, and the husband, or the father, the mother, and the wife. If we give everyone the portion the way it should be given, the father will get very less, and the mother will get more than the father, and that's not possible. The father should be getting more than the mother. So we'll come and explain Mas'ala al-Umariyatain after we finish this, okay? So in this case, the mother has taken a third. Scenario B, okay? We have mother, four brothers. How would we divide this? Yes, the mother here gets a sixth, and the remaining is given to the brothers. Baqi. Are we together? If in this mas'ala there was now a father here, they will become mahjubin, the brothers, because they're not siblings. Let's do it as another scenario, okay? Scenario C. Scenario C, Dawood, did you increase the volume on YouTube? And it's not distorting, it's okay? It's fine. Did you test it? All right. Mother, father, and 2 brothers. Remember this. The father, when he's there, the brothers, the sisters, they don't get anything. The brothers and the siblings of the deceased person don't get anything, because the father is the closest person to the deceased person, okay? So here, the mother will get what? Why? اختلف العلماء. معلش. Father, mother, and the sibling. What is the... Huh?
Siblings out, the father is there.
But what is the portion of the mother? We're talking about... huh? You caved in, huh? It was a test. She gets a sixth. Why? Because the siblings are there. So the mas'ala will be from what? 6. She gets 1. The father gets 5. These ones have become mahjubin. Are we together? Clearly understood? Khalas. Now we're done with the mother side. But there is a mas'ala now concerning the mother and the father regarding the portion of the mother that needs to be given. And this is known as mas'alatul umariyatain. المسألة إحدى العمريتين يعني الغراوين it is known وهي زوج أم وأب أو زوجة فأكثر وأم وأب وهي التي قضى بها عمر بن الخطاب رضي الله عنه فللأم فيها ثلث الباقي وللأب الباقي بعد فرض أحد الزوجين قال تعالى فإن لم يكن له ولد وورثه أبواه فلأمه الثلث. Okay, let's give an example. This is known as مسألة العمريتين or in bracket الغراوين. الغراوين. Okay? يا ربي اللهم أنت ربي. مسألة العمريتين is like this. We have a father. We have a mother. And we have a husband. This is scenario 1, okay? There are 2 scenarios, eh? It's either father, mother, husband, or father, mother, and wife, or wives. Are we together? How would we divide this? If you were to divide, if you didn't know about Mas'alatul Umariyatain. This is what you'll do. If we did not follow the fatwa of Umar radiallahu anh, the way he divided this, we would give the mother her third, right? The husband will get his half, and the father will get the remaining. If that's how we were to divide it. That means the mother here got more than the father. How? Let's get the Ra'sul Mas'ala here. What is the Ra'sul Mas'ala? 6. A half of the 6 is what? Half of a 6. 3. So the husband got a 3. The mother will get a third of a 6 is what? 2. 2. What is remaining? 1. This cannot be possible. Because the father will be getting less. Are we together? So Umar ibn Khattab, when it came to the mas'ala, the case of Al-Gharrawin, he gave a different verdict when it came to this specific issue. So here, this is how he did it. He gave the husband his half. Sorry. The husband his half. Are we together? And then divided and then kept the other portion as 1, like this. Okay? Now here you need to understand one thing. When we have a half, okay, if the mas'ala is from 2, pay attention here. This is a bit complicated. Pay very close attention. When the mas'ala is from 2, that means if we are to divide, there is no third coming out from the second half. There's no possibility of giving a third, a proper full third properly to the mother. So what happens? He gets 1 and 1 is divided between them. You need now to fix the fraction. How do you fix it? You take the 3 heads, 1, 2, 3, you times it by 2 in order to get a new Ra'sul Mas'ala. So you'll get 6. 3 times 2 is 6. Half of 6 is what? 3. Now here the way he divided it, he gave the mother thuluthul baqi, a third from what is remaining from after giving out the portion to the husband. Do you understand my point here? So what is remaining from the thuluthul baqi? From a 6 we have remained what? 3. A third of a 3 is what? 1. So the mother got 1. What is remaining? 2. The father got 2. Do you understand here? Understand? So in order to fix the fraction, here we needed to take the number of the heads that are there, times it with Ra'sul Mas'ala, bring back to the screen, times it back to the Ra'sul Mas'ala, and then what? Get the proper number that you can divide it between the father, the mother, and the husband. The husband's portion does not change because there's no kids. If there were kids, it would have changed. But the husband's portion does not change if the father is there or the mother is there. He either will get his half if there's no kids. If there's kids, he'll get his quota. Khalas. Case closed. Do you understand here? So now here, for example, if 3, 1, 2, the father has gotten more than the amount the mother is getting. Should I repeat here for me? I know this part has confused you guys here. See? We've times the number of the heads with Ra'sul Mas'ala to get a new value of wealth that we have. So before we valued the wealth at 2 only, but it was not possible to divide it. So in order for us to be able to divide it amongst everyone, we had to get a proper value of the what? Of the wealth. Are we together? After we changed it into 6, we went back to the board, dividing it the way it was. What was the portion of the husband? A half. What is the half of a 6? Brigadier? 3. Here is a 3. What was the portion of the mother? The portion of the mother is a third after the 3 remaining. So that is the change that Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anh did. It's not a change, but he gave a fatwa that way because when they came to realize that the father is getting less than the mother, and that was not correct. The father is always stronger in inheriting more than the mother. Are we together? Clearly understood? So the mother got something known as thuluthul baqi, a third of what is remaining. What is remaining after this 3 if we remove it from this 6? So minus 3 is equals to what? So a third of this 3. 1 goes to the mother. What is remaining? 2. 2 is given to the father. Understood? So if we're dividing, let's say 6 million to make it easy, okay? The husband will get 3 million, the mother will get 1 million, and the father will get 2 million. Understood? Mas'al al-Umariyatain. This is scenario 1. Scenario 2 is a bit easier. Scenario 2, we gave an example of a husband, mother, and a father. Now let's give a second example. If the person dies, and that becomes the man, obviously, he leaves back a wife or wives with a mother and a father alone. There's no sibling, there's no children. So this is how the issue is, okay? B, scenario 2. Mas'ala Umariyatain still, huh? We have wife, we have mother, and we have father. Okay? Wife, mother, and a father. Let's divide this. How do we divide this? The wife here gets what? What's the portion of the wife? Ay, Jamali. Since when does a wife get a third? Well, you guys are not paying attention. There is no way a wife is getting a third. No way. Even the wife is not in the category of 6. The wife and the husband, their cases are the most easiest cases and the most simplest ones. I'm repeating this again. The husband gets a half when there's no kids, and he gets a quarter when there is kids. The wife gets a quarter when there's no kids and gets an eighth when there is kids. Only 2 scenarios between husband and wife. So the wife here, because there's no kids, she gets a what? Again. What will she get? There's no kids, so she'll get a quarter. Bismillah. Now, the case goes back to, how will we divide this? The mother will get more than the father again here. This is how we do it. So in order to make it easier, we don't draw a line here. We'll draw a line on the second calculation. So we will do a quarter, a third, no, we have to draw a line here, sorry. A third of what is remaining. Okay? A third of what is remaining. He gets the residue, baqi, what is remaining. Now we come to the calculations here, okay? What is our ra'sul mas'ala? No, what is our full number that we'll be using to divide? The value of everything. 4. What is a fourth over 4? 1. What is remaining? 3. So in order to fix this properly, the mother will get a third of this, not a third of this. Did you get my point? Thuluthul baqi, the third of what is remaining after the wife has been given her portion. So this teaches what? The mothers of the deceased people. When your son, if your son passed away, and you feel like you have more to be given because the one who passed away is your son, you've mistaken. So many wives of the people who've been deceased have not been given their haqq because the mother has come forward and is fighting for the inheritance while she is not supposed to be given that specific amount. So she'll say what? Oh, this is my son's wealth. It's ours. Me and his father. Do you understand? Where you'll get married, you'll go somewhere else. Hini maliye to your family. That is wrong. Do you get my point? Even if your son built up an empire which is worth billions, let the wife be given her share. Because if it was vice versa, you would want your son to get his share from his wife if the wife had passed away. So why is it when it comes to your son, now you want to have double standards? You have to be very careful. This is for the mothers and the fathers. When a wife, a lady loses her husband, and the child who passed away, the husband is your son, make sure that the wife or the wives are given their portion. Even if the wife is not from the family members, she's not a relative, meaning she's not your first cousin, she's not whatever it is, let her get her haqq. The wife needs to be given either a quarter if there's no kids, or be given an eighth if there is kids. So let's say if the wealth is worth 100 million, what is the quarter of 100 million? 25 million should be given to the wife, the widow. Do you get my point here? We have to stop this culture where people are taking the haqq of the women. They will divide amongst that portion that is being given to them. So if it's 4 wives, a person had 4 wives, that 25 million will be divided amongst the 4 wives. If it's 2 wives, it will be divided amongst the 2 wives. And everyone will be given the haqq. Simple as that. My other advice is to or let me not mention it. Because sometimes some people take it differently. But it's important, sorry to say this. To the men, if you have multiple wives, make sure someone in the family knows all of them. If not everyone knows all your wives, make sure someone in the family who is an elderly person, who is a person who is trustworthy in the family, knows that you're married to several wives. And he knows the wives and he knows their contacts. And they should be, if not in close contacts, but they can contact that person and he can contact them. Are we together? In some scenario, some people have gotten married to other wives that are not known to his family for his own benefit. Why? Perhaps the family will reject that woman. For him not to get into sins, it's halal for him to get married. He's not obliged to tell his family that I've gotten married to so and so. As long as that woman whom he's gotten married to, her wali knows, has given the consent, and there is 2 witnesses. Khalas. Are we together here? So in such cases, if you know you have more than one wife, and not all your wives are known by your family members, make sure you write it down in a will. And if you have kids with them, make sure you write it down. Let a lawyer have your will. Let a specific person or specific people in the family know whom you can trust. Know that you have a family somewhere else. Are we together? My advice is, be a man that you do not fear your family knowing that you have other family. You will live a very relaxed life. You will not have the pressure of, I have to hide. Hiding for what? It's halal. Do you get my point? Are you that much afraid of your wife? Or you're afraid she'll beat you up? Or did you do a blunder that you gave her the keys to all your wealth? A man doesn't do that. You balance everything. Everyone has their side, or everyone of your wives have their part in their lives with you. Do you get my point? So write down things. Because so many wives have been left out of inheritance because the family will come up. We don't know her. Since when? Why? They're doing that on purpose because they don't want to give her her portion. Perhaps that their own son already has like 2, 3, 4 kids with the wife that they didn't know about. So be keen. Go, even if you can have a qadi or a person whom you can trust who knows these details, so that if anything happens to you, they do not miss their what? Their haqq, their rights. Are we together? Jazakumullah khair. I know this advice sometimes are a bit sensitive, but it's important to mention them out. All right. So, Mas'ala al-Umariyatain, now we're finishing it up. Focus. The mother will get thuluthul baqi. That means if she's getting a third of a third is 1, and the father will get a 2, and this one, the husband gets 1 portion. Did you understand where this comes from? This was easy because the portions were only 4. You can get a third from 3, but you couldn't get a third from this. Do you understand? Are we together? So we don't need to do tasheehul mas'ala. We don't need to take the 3 heads, then times it by ra'sul mas'ala to get. Do you get my point now? Is it clearly understood? Do you know where the mother is getting the 1? I'm repeating again. I want to know if you understood that. How? A third of the remaining. What is the remaining? What do we mean by the remaining? It's the remaining after after the wife has been given her portion. Why? Because she has also a specific portion that does not change if the father is there or the mother is there. It only changes when there is kids. Now, the father here gets 2. The mother gets 1 and the husband gets 1. So if mas'ala, let's say it's 4 million, the father will get 2 million, the mother will get 1 million, the husband will get, the wife will get 1 million. Clearly understood here? This is known as mas'ala al-umariyatain. Let's take some scenarios with the case of mother and father. So let's say we have a mother and a father only. How do we divide the inheritance here? Very simple. Do we have brothers? No. Do we have any children from the deceased person? No. So the mother gets what? A third, and the father takes the residue, yani baqi, the remaining. Mas'ala is from 3, 1, 2. If it's 3 million, 1 million, the father takes 2 million. Understood? Aye. If there is a father, the grandfather has nothing. The father is closer to the deceased person. The grandfather doesn't get anything. If the father is not there, the grandfather will be given his portion, but it doesn't become mas'ala al-umariyatain. Mas'ala al-umariyatain only, by the way, this is a very important question you asked, perhaps you can be not aligned, but it's good you mentioned it. I remembered now. You see, this scenario of mas'ala al-umariyatain only occurs when there is a father, mother and husband, or father, mother and a wife. It doesn't occur when there is a grandfather in the place of the father. It's not mas'ala al-umariyatain again. Do you get my point? So the mother will be given her third, the remaining will be given to the grandfather. No? Now let's say an example, you have mother, grandfather, and then you have a husband, okay? Mas'ala here, the mother will get her third, the husband will get the nisf, the grandfather will get the remaining. What is Ra'sul Mas'ala here? 6. What is a third of a sixth? Huh? A third of a sixth, Jamal. Wait. Kwanza, we give the husband his portion, which is 3. The third of a sixth is what? 2. The grandfather gets 1. You see the difference? There's no mas'ala umariyatain here. It only occurs when there is a father, mother and a husband, or father, mother and the wife. After the adhan, we'll finish up the second segment of al-thuluth and we'll close the chapter, inshallah.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la
اللهم رب هذه الدعوة اللهم يا حي لا تكلنا The second scenario, or the second group of the people who are supposed to be given a third, number 2, are maternal siblings. Maternal siblings are given 2/3 if they are 2 or more. Okay? These are the conditions. They are given a third if they are 2 or more half siblings from the mother, from the who? The mother, or from the mother's side, afwan. What is the condition that they're supposed to be given? The first condition is what? They're more than one from the mother side. The second condition that is there, they'll be given a third if there are no children or grandchildren or father or grandfather to block them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَإِن كَانُوا أَكْثَرَ مِن ذَلِكَ فَهُمْ شُرَكَاءُ فِي الثُّلُثِ. If they are more than one, فَإِن كَانُوا أَكْثَرَ مِن ذَلِكَ فَهُمْ شُرَكَاءُ فِي الثُّلُثِ, then they are residuaries who will be given a third that will be divided amongst them equally. In this case alone is when we have the scenario where the male and the female are given the same equal amount. Are we together? Focus. This is the last part. This is very important. Because we're finishing Ashab al-Thuluth, we'll get into Sudus after next weekend if I don't travel. Abdul Malik, you have one sibling which is Brigadier. He is from your mother's side. He is supposed to be given a sixth if he is by himself. Mind you, the conditions have to be met. If your father is not there, if your grandfather is not there, and if you don't have kids, then he'll be given his portion. But if these three people are there, they become mahjubin. Hijb ish, hirman. But in a scenario where there is more than one sibling from your mother's side, what's the name of the brother? Huh? Hamza. So Hamza and Brigadier are your siblings from your mother's side. They're more than one. They're supposed to be given a third if the conditions are met. What are the conditions? There is no children, you don't have children, you do not have grandchildren, and you do not have a father or a grandfather. Are we together here? That's when they'll be given a third. So practical example is this. So we call them maternal, not paternal. Maternal siblings. So maternal siblings one full brother. Okay, this is the practical example they want to give. Your full brother is Dawood, but you have maternal siblings, yani your siblings from your mother's side, Who are your siblings from their mother's side here now? Hamza and Brigadier. Sawa? So your maternal siblings will be given a fixed share of what? A third. What is remaining now will be given to your full brother as a residue. Baqi. The mas'ala will be from 3. Your maternal siblings will be given what? 1 portion, and the 2 is given to your full brother. Do you get my point here now? So if you are to divide 15 million, they will get what? 5, and he takes what? 10 million. Are we together? Another example. Do you remember who is supposed to be given 2/3? Yes. الجمع من الأخوات، الجمع من البنات، الجمع من أخوات لأب. You understand? You remember? الجمع أخوات الشقيقات. You have a scenario. You have 3 maternal siblings. Okay? And you have 2 paternal sisters. I divide for me this. I've given you all the information that you need. What is the what do the maternal sisters get? Maternal siblings get first? What do the maternal siblings get? A third. Why? There's no grandchildren, there's no children, there's no father, there's no grandfather to block them. So they're given what? Their third. What is the portion of the 2 paternal sisters? 2/3. Very good. Mas'ala will be from what? 3. 1, 2. If it's 15 million, they get the maternal sisters, the maternal siblings get 5, and the paternal sisters get what? 10. Okay. An important thing to note here. You see this 5 million. You know, always we talk about للذكر مثل حظ الأنثيين. Okay? للذكر مثل حظ الأنثيين in maternal siblings doesn't work. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this ayah said فَإِن كَانُوا أَكْثَرَ مِنْ ذَلِكَ فَهُمْ شُرَكَاءُ فِي الثُّلُثِ. Meaning, this 5 million is divided equally between the 3. Doesn't matter doesn't matter the 2 of them are sisters, 1 is a brother. La. When it comes to only this mas'ala, they get a fair share, an equal share, not fair, because fara'id, all of it is fair, but they get an equal share. Are we together here? Let's do more practical examples. You have, this is a bit different. So you have a person died and left back a wife, 7 maternal siblings, and a son. Let's divide this. How do you divide it? Brigadier, this is for you. Huh? Don't start with the son. You can never start with the son, because the son does not have a fixed share. Sabr, this is the mas'ala. I'm giving you a mas'ala just now. Brigadier. What will you give the wife? The wife? That's a big mistake. Wife never gets a 6th. Why umempatia answer? It was a test. The wife is either given a 1/4 or an 1/8, depending on the scenario. She's never given a 6th or an 1/8. When does she get a 1/4 and when does she get an 1/8? I gave you guys all the information. It's for him. Brigadier, wewe nakusaidia bana, nakupenda sana. Haye, what does the wife get? Chap chap. We have a wife we have, bring the screen back. We have a wife, we have 7 maternal siblings and a son. Okay, we give the wife an eighth. What do the maternal sisters get? اختلف العلماء again. They get nothing because the son is there. They become mahjubin and the son takes the residue which is baqi. So mas'ala is from what? Mas'ala is from 8. They get 1, 0 and he gets 7. So if we're dividing, like let's say 8 million, the wife gets 1 million and the son gets what? 7 million. Simple as that. Yes. What is the And actually, for your information, the mother has no right if the son is getting more or the kids are getting more. Oh, I'm the mother. Sorry, I'm the wife. You know, sometimes the wives can be a bit wanting to, yes. They want to show that they are the main ones in the family. Be very careful. Another example, أخت الشقيقة, full sister, and then we have 3. Be careful, yeah. Abdul Malik, pay attention. 3 maternal non-Muslim siblings. Non-Muslim siblings, okay? 3 maternal non-Muslim siblings and a paternal uncle. Let's divide this. How do you divide this? I give you the whole thing, you can divide. No mistakes. No options for mistakes and no being helped. Remember I told you guys one thing. You have to pay attention in fara'il because what you start with from the beginning is connected with the future. It's like nahu also. If you do not understand the beginning, when you go forward, if you don't pay attention and do revision and understand it, when you go forward, you will not be able to understand it. So remember, what was the full sister to be given in the fixed portions? She's amongst the ones to be given a half. If there is no similar sibling to her, there's no kids of the deceased person. You remember all those conditions we've mentioned. We have gone through it. Actually, that was the first thing that we learned when we started dividing inheritance. So please pay attention. So the full sister here will get a half. The 3 maternal non-Muslim siblings, what will they get? Mahjubin. Why? There is something known as mawani' al-irth, the things that block a person to be given inheritance, and that is what? Ikhtilaf ad-din, if they are not Muslims. Are we together? The third one is a paternal uncle, he gets the residue, the baqi. So the mas'ala is from 2, 1, 0, 1. Understood? We take one last one and then we go for salah. We have a husband. We have 5 maternal siblings. Zain Yako, alone. Nobody to help you. Brigadier? Or maybe both of them. How do we divide this? Why? Yeah, you failed. Give me yours. I'm not taking another one. The husband gets what? Half. The 5 maternal siblings, what do they get? Huh? What did you say? Yeah, that's what he said. You say the third first. Yeah, Allah understand. What Rakata answers now, eh? He takes the residue. So the mas'ala is from 2, 1, 0, 1. Why? Because the father has blocked them. Are we together? This thing is interesting if you pay attention to it. We do one last one, Brigadier Amma. Eco, this one is very good. 9, pay attention, 9, Mzee, sabr, 9 maternal siblings, okay? 2 paternal siblings, enslaved full sister. Aye. Abdul Malik, divide. You have 9 maternal siblings, you have 2 paternal siblings, and an enslaved sister. Tricky, yeah? Hey. When we say enslaved, meaning she's still under the slavery thing. And she's still a captive and a slave, okay? What do we do? Who? Kwanzaa, let's start. What do the maternal siblings get? The 9 maternal siblings.
This is the essay from where? From whom? Mother or father?
What?
The essays which are dividing,
Uh,
they are from mother or father side.
I didn't.
Who
We are taking it like this. Someone died and only left back maternal siblings, 9 maternal siblings, 2 paternal siblings, and 1 full sister who is enslaved. He has no one else except these ones. No. It doesn't matter. It's a man who passed away or a woman passed away. But what they left back is 9 maternal sisters, 2 paternal siblings, 9 maternal siblings, 2 paternal siblings, and 1 full sister, but she's enslaved. How do you divide this? Hussein Hirsi Muhammad. Abdul Malik, this is very easy. Very easy. Okay, the maternal siblings, you say they get what? A third. A third. What do the paternal siblings get? 2/3. Amongst the people who get 2/3 is al-jam'u min al-akhawat li-ab. Yani, more than 2 siblings from the father's side. More than 2 siblings from both the mother's and father's sides also to get what? Not siblings, afwan. I did a mistake here. Forgive me for that. This is not siblings, this is sisters. So the 2 paternal, yes, sorry, I confused you. The 2 paternal sisters get what? 2/3. What will the full sister who is enslaved get? Why? Because she has amongst one of the 3 things that bar a person to inherit. What are the 3 things that bar a person to inherit? Number 1? Yes. If you're the one who killed that person whom you're supposed to inherit, you do not inherit. And if you're enslaved, you do not inherit. And if you're not a Muslim, also you don't inherit. Do you get my point here? So now here, the mas'ala is from what? No. Mas'ala is from 3. What is the third over 3? 1. What is the portion of them? 2, and here is 0. If it's 15 million we're dividing, they get 5 million, and these ones get 10 million. Do you get my point? Clearly understood? The paternal sisters get more because they are closer to the deceased person more than the maternal part. Your siblings from your father's lineage are stronger than your siblings from your mother's lineage. Why? Because perhaps your mother got married to some, not perhaps, your mother got married to someone else and you got siblings from a different stranger person. Even though your mother is the one who gave birth to them, but the lineage that you have from the father's side is stronger than the lineage you have or the relation you have to come from the mother's side. أقول ما تسمع